going to show you how to turn this into this. Today we are going to be working on the easy dividers that I'll be using for this month. So of course the first thing I'm going to do is take everything out, and if you love videos like this, please make sure to hit the subscribe button below, and don't forget to hit the notification button so that you'll be notified when more videos like this one come out. So the first thing I do is go into my paper pad, and you've probably seen this one before because I am using the honeydew pad and I'm almost all out of that paper. I'm putting some paper onto the mats and I'm cutting these on my Cricut die cutting machine. Now don't worry if you don't have a Cricut machine, you can just use your scissors or your paper cutter. You just need to know the dimensions that you're going to be using. Now my dividers are 4 by 6.75, and then I also put a tab on here as well. So you see that little round thing that's sticking out? That's for the actual tab. And I just cut that with the Cricut machine as well. So I also laid out a few embellishments that I wanted to go on top of those dividers. And I'm actually just making these one layer. So I'm not doing a front and the back as far as the cardstock goes. So if you've been following me, you know I usually use a lot of cardstock, but this time I'm just only going to have like the front of the divider, and the back side will just be white. So I'm just kind of doing a bit of clipping and making sure that everything matches, and I'm also going to have to do a little bit of fussy cutting as well, and I always want to clip those in. So I got my We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper out to chomp the corners down because it always gives it that nice look on the edges. So now I'm just going ahead and I'm putting everything down. I just want to make sure everything looks good together, and so you'll see me kind of fussing around with things, and if the pieces are too big, then I'm cutting those down, because I just want to let you know as a tip, if you're using like project life cards or you just have some handy, you can use those as embellishments. Don't be afraid to like cut those in pieces if you had to. You can see I'm doing that here with this card, and some of these cards came from the actual paper pad. They were some of the cutaway cards, and some were project life cards that I had on hand. So you can use just about anything that you wanted to. You can use like magazine covers, you can use any type of ephemera that you have around. You can use anything to make your dividers look very beautiful. So next I took out the laminator because I'm laminating all of these, and to minimize waste I tried to put at least 2 dividers into each pocket. Now I did want to say, as far as the lamination goes, there are pros and cons to actually laminating your dividers. Now the cons are, it takes a little long to do this part of the process because you have to put it in and then you have to cut all the excess off, and you have to watch out for the sharp edges. But the pros outweigh the cons, because the pro is you can use these dividers over and over again. The lamination adds durability to it, and then you can stick stickers on it, you can stick your labels on, take them off. It just makes them a lot more reusable. So I just wanted to mention that. Now I'm actually cutting away the excess, and another con is that if you cut too close to the actual pocket, because it makes a pocket when you do this lamination, then it will open up. Now you can easily fix that with some clear glue, but you just want to be careful to begin with. So just remember not to cut too close because you don't want to cut into those pockets. Also, since I have that little circle for the tab, I had to use my scissors to cut around that because, you know, my paper cutter is not going to do that, unfortunately, because me and scissors, we don't get along that well. I'm just not a straight cutting kind of gal, but that's okay. On my paper cutter, I use it to cut as much as I can, and then again, I just take the scissors to go in and cut the rest. And then I take my corner chomper again and I go around those corners because that lamination is super sharp and it will cut you. So not only that, but I do like the fact that it gives you a very finished look. So now I'm on to the routine cards, and I keep all my routines in one file on my computer, so all I have to do is go in and make any changes that I need to. Then I took out my paper cutter and I just cut everything apart, and now I put all of my little squares, and those are 3x4 cards. They're the same size as the small project life cards, and that's what I use for my routine cards. So I also just use some pink plain copy paper because I wanted to make sure I had lots of pink added into this for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And then I took the corner chomper and I chomped the corners down for that finished look. Now I'm just pulling everything out again, and I am now going to punch the holes, and I took out my We Are Memory Keepers hole punch. Now I love this planner hole punch and it does such a great job. I did the routine cards first, and then I went on to the actual dividers themselves. So after I did that, I just wanted to make sure that I had everything. So off camera, I made sure I counted and made sure everything was there. Now I'm taking out the actual planner that I'm going to be using. I'm going to use this black one. Now this is not the actual setup video, but I still wanted to take it out and make sure that all the holes worked and they were punched okay. So I put the dividers in, and then next I put the routine cards in as well, closed it, and voila, everything worked perfectly. So this is everything that I made to include the dividers. First, I made some cards that will go into the front of the divider, and you will see exactly how that works in the setup video that's coming out soon. And then next I made 2 cards that will go again into the secretarial pocket, and I got a little overzealous and I punched some holes in it, but it doesn't make a difference. And then also the dashboard that I have here in my hand. Then next, these are the routine cards that I made, and they are so cute and beautiful. I love putting the routine cards inside of the planner itself. So they are all punched and they have the routines on them and they're ready to go. And then next, these are the dividers, and they are just stunning. They came out so beautiful as well. And I just love how all those little bits and pieces that you put on there, the attention to detail with the ephemera and the extra cards on top, it just adds that extra layer of dimension, and it just really, it makes me want to really use these dividers. And that's what you want. You want something that you're going to actually love to use. So if you love videos like this, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. I would love to know in the comments, which planners are you using this month, or are you just using one? So with that, I'm going to say love, peace, and hair grease from your sweet lotus blossom and lovable Lizzie. Have a fantabulous day and enjoy life.